Sure.
Long before we had a YouTube channel, we would go out places and we would draw while we were there or make art projects that were kind of inspired by the trip. And we have continued that with the channel. We've done several art adventures, and they're my favorite videos to film and edit, and my least favorite videos to title and make thumbnails and social media posts for, because I never know what to call them. I don't know. They're just so hard to define in a very quick way. This one, we went up into the mountains. We took your cousin with us up into the mountains, and we went up to a hiking trail, and we went about, quarter of a mile past the trailhead and stopped. Found a nice spot and chilled, because I still can't walk super well. So it wasn't much of a hike. We just found a pretty spot. And really what you need if you're arting in the wild is a pretty spot. I love taking your cousin with us. Sean is the easiest kid in the universe. He's game for anything. He's so chill and he keeps you entertained. So I'm not like, oh, look at the 13-year-old making the 13-year-old face. I'm like, oh, she's good. She's good. So we mostly just hung out and explored. You guys picked up some sticks to art on later. I believe that's the one you actually carved. Footage of the actual moment that you found it. It's so pretty there.
Me and Sean were just kind of hanging out near the stream, looking for cool rocks and stuff.
Sam was not super confident climbing down the rocks, so she and I, with our lack of confidence, made our way down to the stream in a kind of less scary zone, slowly but surely. And we found some water striders. Water striders are little bugs that can walk on water. They're pretty cool. Look at him go! Go, buddy, go!
At first I thought they were bugs that were just like floating on the water, and they're like, Then I thought they were frogs because where their feet hit the water, it kind of makes an effect that looks like little circle thingies.
Yeah. Here's Sam doing her best Bobby Duke impression, walking through the woods, filming her feet, scooching along. I love painting trees because you can get away with so much. They can just be little squiggly blobs. You can just wiggle the brush around and you end up with tree.
Yeah, it's completely different in Minecraft. I've been making a tree in Minecraft, and it was hard to get the branches right, and then it was hard to get the leaves, not leave little hollow spots where there isn't any leaves, and it was a struggle.
Oh my gosh, you're the cutest.
And I like the painting.
Oh, you like the painting?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you. Daddy got dip pens for himself. We wanted a new and chill activity, and he's never used them before, so he was just kind of playing with them and trying to figure them out in the woods, of all places, with a bottle of ink and dip pens for the first time. I think he did a really nice job. He didn't get too crazy. He kind of kept it simple while we were there in the wilderness. There's Sam and Daddy arting away. You were doing a watercolor. You did some nice gradients and stuff, some pretty colors.
Yeah.
Very chill.
The gradient on the grass was a bit hard.
I think you did a beautiful job.
It's just like trying to get the blend right.
You got the blend very nice. Nice to be in a pretty place. And then we found a little haunted cabin. I made you guys pose in front of it. And then when we got home, Sean and Ty tried to carve their wood chunks that they found and quickly discovered that this wood was harder to carve than the basswood that we got for the Palisman project. But still, I think fun, right?
As we were carving, we were revealing these like pinky purples and greens and
yeah, that was
colors.
really cool inside the wood. Nature's so amazing.
I didn't exactly know what I wanted to do, so I was just kind of carving designs and
Playing with the knife.
playing with a knife.
Yeah, that's what this kind of a day is about, when you're just sort of out there and you're picking up what you find and you're doing whatever comes to mind and exploring. It's exploring.
I'm playing with the knife.
Yeah, I'm playing with a knife. So this is a little curved stick that we thought looked like a smile. We found this one on the way out and my phone was almost dead. So I didn't record any footage of everybody holding it up to their mouths and pretending it was a smile and goofing off and being silly. But I decided to make it into Francois the Smiley Snake. We named him Francois before we ever even left the trail. We were still up in the mountains and he was Francois the Smiley Snake before he was ever carved. And then I discovered that on this wood, the Sureform, which is like a cheese grater for wood, worked really well for smoothing out that tail. So I finished off the tail with the Sureform. So I carved his smile upside down because what I wanted was for the smile to be smiling when the stick was smiling, if that makes sense. When the curve of the stick is smiling, I wanted the snake to be smiling, and I totally did it upside down. So I ended up having to carve 2 mouths, and then I patched him with epoxy sculpt. So my original concept was that I would just do teeth all over him because teeth look kind of like scales, and then he could be a smile. But when I started to draw it, I don't even know how the decision happened, but I started making him more and more realistic, and then making it into a mouth, and then like giving it the sides of the mouth and gums. And yeah, before you knew it, he was a bit cursed. He's a bit cursed. My cursed little Francois.
Blurst.
What does that mean?
Blessed and cursed.
Oh, okay.
Cause like he's cute,
But he's cursed.
but he's cursed.
Yeah, for sure.
Blurst.
Okay, then yes, he's blurst. You learn something every day. So you guys saw Daddy working with his dip pen and you wanted to try it. And so this was you guys all playing with the dip pens and making big messes. You guys were drawing the water striders because we were all pretty excited about the water striders. I mean, bugs that can walk on water are pretty cool.
You said they were water striders, and I was like, what are those?
Yeah, I knew they were water striders because of a poetry book I had when I was a kid. It's a Newbery Award-winning book called Joyful Noise, Poems for Two Voices by Paul Fleischman, illustrated by Eric Beddoes. Whenever we're asked if we walk upon water, we answer,
Of course.
to be sure.
It's quite true.
Whenever we're asked if we walk on it often, we answer,
Quite often.
each day.
All day through.
So what do you think of Joyful Noise? They're fun to do because they're multiple people and you get to do it together. And they're all really different. They all have different kind of rhythms and stuff. And then Daddy drew a giant water strider. This big boy.
Giant realistic water strider.
Yeah. I like him. He turned out great.
Yeah.
He was experimenting with a lot of different kinds of inks and he had a ton of different nibs. And he has my old nibs from when I was in high school. I kept them even though I hated them for some reason. So he was using all of the nibs and he had some dripping issues. So then he was testing out the white ink to see if he could cover it up and it kind of worked. But you know, it's experimental. Ty drew the water striders in pencil and I think you were gonna ink them and then you were enjoying those pens a lot. So you were just drawing your characters instead.
I was just drawing a bunch of characters. Some of them were mine. Some of them were just characters that I like. Oh, there's a Triforce. The first thing that I carved that was actually a thing.
Yeah, whenever you're with Sean, things tend to get video game themed.
Yeah.
Loved our little mountain adventure and the weird stuff we made as a result. It's a really weird collection of stuff.